The Concubine episode 3, But Child? Pastor Reynolds began, his lips trembling. Before he could continue, Duke Malone's palm cracked across his face. "Shut your damn mouth, old man," Duke roared. "Or do you have a death wish?" Emily Bennett's voice shook with fury. "Have you no shame, Duke? Striking a defenseless elder. This old fool should mind his business," Duke sneered. "When the girl's willing, what's his problem? It's not like I'm marrying his daughter." "She's like a daughter to me," Pastor Reynolds said with quiet courage. Duke barked a laugh. "Like hell she is. Start the damn ceremony already." The townsfolk watched in frozen silence. Had they stood with the pastor, Duke and his 4 goons wouldn't have dared continue. But fear kept them rooted, not just of Duke, but of what came next. "Think carefully, child," Pastor Reynolds urged Emily. "I've lived my life. If refusing saves yours—" "Don't worry, old man," Duke interrupted. "I'll grant that death wish real soon." Just then, Emily's phone rang. Her pulse spiked when she saw the caller ID. Vincent, Vince, Carbone. "Hello?" Her voice trembled with relief. A deep voice answered without greeting. "My phone was with an associate. I'm on my way now." "I'll be waiting," she whispered. The line went dead. Emily lifted her chin. "Duke, the groom's party is coming." Duke's grin turned vicious. "Stalling won't save you. You're leaving with me tonight." "Oh, I'll leave," she said coldly. "Just give it 20 minutes." One of Duke's men barged in with a crate of donuts. Well, Duke drawled, grabbing a jelly-filled. "Let's feed these good folks while we wait." He shoved the crate at Pastor Reynolds, who recoiled. "Take one, Uncle," Emily said softly. "My groom will be here soon." Duke laughed. "Groom? More like a lamb to slaughter." Suddenly tires screeched outside. Emily smiled. The door burst open. Vince Carbone filled the doorway, muscles taut under a sweat-drenched tank top, 4 armed bodyguards flanking him. His gaze locked onto Emily. "I'm here," he rumbled, voice like distant thunder. Duke's legs shook. "Please, sit," Emily said. Vince took a chair, his men looming behind him. Emily turned to Duke. "My groom has arrived." I didn't know she was yours, Mr. Carbone," Duke stammered. Vince's lips curled. "Heard you promised to kill my wife's husband." He cracked his knuckles. "Here I am." Duke fell to his knees. "Forgive me." "Beg her," Vince said. Duke crawled to Emily. "Please, I'm sorry." Emily exhaled, slow and satisfied. "Oh, Duke, I've dreamed of this." She turned to her mother. "Mum, it's time." Sarah Bennett pulled 2 baseball bats from behind the kitchen counter, prepared since dawn. Please," Duke begged. Sarah swung first. The crack of his wrist echoed through the room. Mother and daughter moved as one, their bats rising and falling in brutal rhythm. Vince watched, amused, as Duke's screams faded to whimpers. When Pastor Reynolds finally intervened, Vince addressed Duke's men. "Dispose of the body. If the cops find it, you'll join him." As the crowd dispersed, Vince turned to Emily. "When should I send the car?" "I'll leave with you now." He shook his head. 10 p.m. Spend these last hours with your family. As the wedding ceremony concluded, Vince Carbone stood up and asked Emily, "What time should I send the car to pick you up?" "I'm coming with you now," she said firmly. "No." Vince shook his head, the ghost of a smile touching his lips. The car will be here at 10 p.m. Spend these last few hours with your family. Finish any remaining traditions." That last line carried a hint of amusement. Emily noticed how his rare smiles transformed his face, though they appeared scarcely. Pastor Reynolds asked to leave after Vince departed. Emily bowed her head respectfully. "Uncle, I'll never forget your kindness. You call me uncle, yet speak of debts." The pastor patted her head affectionately. "We don't keep score with family, child. This was my duty." "May God grant every girl a guardian like you," Emily said emotionally, before turning to embrace her weeping mother. The neighbors offered awkward congratulations, though the day's events, Vince's dramatic arrival, Duke Malone's brutal execution, the mother-daughter vengeance, Emily's unconventional marriage, left them stunned into silence. At least Vince had permanently banished Duke's gang from their neighborhood. The women of buzzed with gossip. Those who'd witnessed Duke's fate firsthand couldn't stop talking, while others marveled at Vince's commanding presence. Though decades older than Emily, his power and bearing made the age difference irrelevant. Most shocking was Emily's demeanor. No blushing bride, but a woman who'd negotiated her own dowry. Vengeance.
When the men left, the women swarmed Emily and Sarah. A bride typically basked in quiet modesty, but today had shattered all conventions. The house echoed with overlapping voices, some offering blessings, others giving thanks for Duke's death, many simply marveling at the unbelievable events. Emily retreated behind her veil as the crowd's stares weighed on her. With each passing minute, her anxiety grew. While she'd achieved vengeance for her brother's death, her future loomed like a gathering storm. Would Vince discard her by morning? What would people say? That she'd traded one monster for another. "But there is value," she argued silently. "I avenged Michael. This marriage was my choice. And if Vince claimed his marital rights, better his bed than Duke's," she told herself fiercely. To all questions, Sarah could only repeat, "This was God's will." She sat quietly, dreading the night ahead. Yet part of her thrilled at how Vince had made even the police-protected judge tremble. Such a man could shield her daughter from all harm. By 8:30 p.m., only a few neighbors and Emily's closest friends remained. Her college roommate Sienna finally cornered her. "Seriously, where did you find a man like Vince Carbone?" Emily smirked. "What? Should I die happy if I found someone like him?" "You know what I mean." Sienna swatted her arm. "You met him yesterday?" "Impossible." "Stranger things have happened," Emily deflected, then relented under their stares. She told them about seeing the judge tremble before Vince's Mercedes, how she'd begged his help. "That's all. You saw the rest today." "But," Naomi hesitated, "isn't he worse than Duke?" Emily's glare could have melted steel. "Say that again, and we're done." At 9:45 p.m., a black Escalade arrived early. Two stern-faced women collected Emily. "No time for food," they said, ignoring Sarah's protests. Emily clung to her mother. "I'll visit soon. Please hurry," the women interrupted. Sarah kissed her forehead. "Go, child." As the SUV disappeared down the dirt road, Sarah's tears fell freely onto the porch steps. Emily sat with her head bowed between the two women. No one addressed her, nor did she attempt to speak to anyone. As the car moved farther from home, she felt her heart sinking. She kept her head lowered. Modesty is second nature to a bride, especially one without any familiar female companion. The car traveled for a long while. With her head down, she neither saw nor wished to see the passing scenery. When the car stopped, the two women led her to a luxurious room. They seated her on the bed and left. As soon as they exited, she raised her head to examine the room. The comfortable double bed had beautiful sheets. Expensive curtains hung from the windows. The thick carpet swallowed her feet as she walked. An exquisite sofa set and other furnishings. Things she had only seen in TV dramas or heard about from wealthy friends. Now she supposedly owned such luxuries. Owner... The ironic thought crossed her mind, bringing a bitter smile to her lips. Who knew how long Vince would keep her? It was possible tonight in this dream chamber might be her first and last night. She remained lost in these bittersweet thoughts until the door clicked open. Before she could cover her face with her veil, a handsome young man in a three-piece suit entered. Perhaps this is Vince's secretary, she thought momentarily. But when he locked the door behind him, she startled. Who are you? Why did you lock the door? She stood up involuntarily. A meaningful smile appeared on his face. Baby, servants should be respected. Tonight you can consider me your attendant. The lock is so no one disturbs our privacy. Where is he? Emily stammered. Who? He feigned confusion before continuing. Oh, you mean Vince Carbone? Probably enjoying himself with some other favorite. He paused mockingly. Don't worry, you won't always be with me. Maybe someday Vince will grace you with his presence. Don't you dare come near me, she said, stumbling backward. Her mind reeled. She hadn't anticipated such humiliation. The man she had accepted as her protector hadn't even deemed her worthy of his presence on their wedding night. Her dreams of a life together shattered like glass. Meanwhile, the man opened the glass cabinet and took out a bottle, clearly alcohol, pouring himself a drink. Would you like some? He asked. Dry-lipped, Emily murmured. Please, just let me see Vince. Meet him in the morning. Don't ruin the mood now, he said, settling on the sofa with his drink. I'll go myself, she said, gathering courage to move toward the door. When she was just 2 steps away, he said calmly, There are 4 guards outside. I've told them if you step out, it means you're no longer under my protection, and they can take their share. If you think you can handle all 4, feel free to leave. Emily's feet rooted to the ground. Please, for God's sake. Her face paled. To save herself from one villain, she had fallen into the hands of many. Don't be difficult, baby, he said, ignoring her pleas as he advanced. Emily's condition was like a mouse trapped in a cat's jaws, with no escape route left. Emily's feet seemed rooted to the ground. She folded her hands pleadingly. But please, for God's sake, let me meet Vince just once. The man made a face. What, am I too short for you compared to Vince? Or do I lack the courage that makes you keep chanting Vince, Vince? He is my husband. We're legally married, Emily burst out. He pretended to think for a moment before replying in a vulgar tone. And do I lack any qualifications to be a husband? When Emily remained silent, he continued. Fine then. Give me tonight. If you have any complaints tomorrow, go running to Vince. He set down his empty glass and advanced toward her. If you touch me, I'll scream, Emily threatened, as if standing in a public place. My ears quite enjoy the sound of women screaming, he said, continuing his advance without pause. Emily retreated until her back hit the wall, with nowhere left to go. Please, I beg you in God's name, Her face turned pale. To save herself from Duke Malone, she had fallen into the hands of even worse men. "Don't be difficult, baby," he said, ignoring her desperate pleas as he closed in. Emily was like a mouse trapped in a cat's jaws, with absolutely no means of escape.
Trapped in a gilded cage, Emily faces a nightmare worse than Duke Malone. With no allies and a stranger claiming her wedding night, her fate hangs by a thread. Will Vince Carbone abandon her to the wolves? Or is this all part of a darker game? The answers unfold next time in The Concubine.